Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by GTN, featuring interviews and events happening around town. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or SoundCloud so you can keep up with what's going on in Greensboro City government. I'm your host, Josh Johnson, and with me today I have a new co-host in the co-host seat, my good friend and counterpart here at the City of Greensboro Marketing and Communications Department, Amanda Leemert. Amanda, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
I am so excited to be on Talk City, my favorite podcast.
Oh, you're so sweet.
It's PB season, folks. Participatory Budgeting Voting season begins on September 10th at the North Carolina Folk Festival, and it runs through October 15th this year. We are so excited to have with us today our guest, Leela Lewis, the Outreach and Program Coordinator for PB Greensboro, and a great PB volunteer from District 1, Cecelia Shaw. Welcome.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, Leela, let's start off. Give us an idea of how PB works.
Right. So, in short, the Participatory Budgeting Program is a democratic process that allows residents to essentially decide how to use public funds on projects, capital projects, or programming within their city council districts. It's a long-running concept, international in scope. So it started in Brazil in the 80s, the late 80s, and it's been taking hold in the U.S. for about 20 years now. So Greensboro is in their fourth cycle, started in 2014, and we've had about 70 projects/programs funded since then.
Very cool. And so this is a new year, a new ballot, new projects that people can vote for. Tell us, what are some of the things that people are going to see when they go to pbgreensboro.com and open up their ballot?
Oh, what are we going to see? Okay, so we'll see playgrounds, maybe renovated. We'll see bus shelters. We'll see bus seating, solar charging stations. What else? Some programming around gardening. Some other educational programs happening in the rec centers and the libraries. So those are all options, of course. I don't know if I said this already, but every ballot will have multiple options, and so when residents look at their ballot, they'll be able to rank what they would like first, second, third, so on and forth. And from there, what wins out will be funded. So just because we see it on the ballot doesn't mean that that's happening. We actually have to vote. So so we get to do that. This time it's fun, though. There's no backbiting and name calling and PB voting. So we'll vote on what projects we want to see funded for our communities. And then whatever gets approved, whatever is final, will not begin demolition or the beginning of a program until July 2023.
Okay.
So that's really important to remember when we're looking at our ballots. We're not going to get this awesome program next month because we voted on October 15th.
Right, that's part of the participatory budgeting sort of program plan, is teaching people how the budget works in Greensboro, and our fiscal year starts July 1st. So you can't get funding until the new budget comes
That's
in,
right.
right?
My favorite part of PB is learning that kind of stuff.
So who can vote? Can everybody vote? Can anybody vote?
Do you have to be a citizen?
Yeah.
Do you have to be registered?
So what do you have to be in order to vote in PB? You must be 14 years old or older. Younger, older. technically. Of 14
Older
and
than
above
14.
14.
Right.
We're not going to say that's old necessarily.
Thank you.
And you must live within city limits. So because each ballot is for a city council district in Greensboro, and I will say that city council district number 1 in Greensboro encompasses a little more than Greensboro. So I will say that, keep that in mind. If you're in District 1, but you don't have Greensboro on your address, you're still District 1 and you can still vote.
That's right. If you're in McLeansville, right?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Okay.
But you just have to live, you have to have a Greensboro address essentially and be over 14.
That's great. That's great. And so that's important to know.
Absolutely.
You do not have to be a U.S. citizen in order to vote, unlike traditional voting in elections.
Just got to be a resident.
Excellent. Other than voting, what are some ways that people can get involved in participatory budgeting? How have you
Cecelia.
been involved, Cecelia?
That's a Cecelia question.
Yes, please.
Well, actually, the citizens of Greensboro are encouraged to think about your community and what kinds of needs your particular district or your community might need, and turn in a project. They start around in March when the projects are accepted. You can volunteer, as I did. I think I volunteered. I don't think I was drafted to become.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it sounded like
I'm
a
not
question.
sure. And I was looking at Leela, right?
I followed up. That's all.
But no, I did volunteer to become part of the committee that actually goes over the projects. We investigate projects. We actually go visit sites where people have turned in ideas for a project to check out and make sure that this is something that is feasible for the community. It also, we need to keep in mind that the volunteers are also going to be the people who meet with city departments to see if they have some great ideas as to this is feasible, this is something that we could use here in Greensboro. So they give back information to those committee people, and we meet about 3 times, I guess, during the cycle to discuss the projects. The project doesn't have to be in my neighborhood as long as it's in my district.
Okay.
So we actually do go out and we talk with people about the project. We actually also go back and look at old projects that maybe didn't get funded in that district to see if those are some projects we want to bring in
Maybe you want to bring
for
them back in.
this
Yeah.
year that we could use.
So essentially, residents have been deeply involved in what people are going to see on their ballot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that Cecelia is probably an outstanding example of that and has been very thorough in talking to her neighbors and talking to the neighborhood associations. We were able to go back, reach back into the community for those who submitted ideas during the idea submission phase, and do the due diligence of really understanding what the need is, because maybe it wasn't articulated that well the first time around, but okay, now we understand exactly what you mean by make this better for us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, Cecelia, how important are volunteers to this process, and what do you like about volunteering?
They are essential.
Right.
The volunteers actually are the people who are evaluating the project. They are taking a look to see, how valuable the project is. They're talking with people all over the community. They actually are also investigating and taking a look at projects that may be in other districts that could benefit their district. So, that's part of the process too. You can actually look back. But volunteers are essential. We're the people who are going to get the word out. We're the people who are going to ask the neighbors and people who we may not even know. Have you voted for the PB project? One of the things that I think is essential, though, for volunteers here in Greensboro, sometimes we complain about a lot of things that we don't have that somebody else has. Well, I think you need to be observant of what you have in your community. Watch, take a look at, hey, that looks really cool over there. Maybe we could use that in my neighborhood. Yeah. So I think that the more people get involved in what's going on in the whole city, not just your particular little tiny neighborhood, I think, those are the ways that we could, as volunteers and citizens, let the people know that this is something that we can have too. Don't complain if you're not the person that's speaking out, and saying, hey, I want that too in my neighborhood.
Yeah, very cool. Well, we're grateful to volunteers like you.
Absolutely.
Well, sometimes they say, when are they going to stop asking? We're not going to stop.
Well, you're not
asking.
actually, right, Leela? Because you're still looking for volunteers this season.
Yeah.
Always. I'm always looking for volunteers.
Yes.
I will never turn away a helping hand. We do start voting at the North Carolina Folk Festival on Saturday, September 10th, and we'll be there Sunday, September 11th as well. But we'll have PB voting stations across the city between now and October 15th. So you'll find us at major events like arts at the Arboretum. And then you'll see us at smaller events, just at your neighborhood rec center or library. So reach out to me. Let me know when you got time, and I will plug you in.
Great.
Fantastic. And so PB Greensboro, www.pbgreensboro.com. That's the website. That's the information. That's where folks can go to get more information, to volunteer.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So everybody go there.
Go vote.
Yeah, vote, learn, find out what's happening, get involved, and together we can all make it better for everybody.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both for being our guests on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, you're quite welcome. And if you think of something that you want to see happen in your community, get ready for next year.
There we go.
Thanks for the plug, Cecelia.
All right. Thank you both. Stay tuned in weekly by subscribing to Talk City Greensboro on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And don't forget you can download Talk City from SoundCloud. That's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in to Talk City. Be sure to watch GTN, your official source for news and information about the city of Greensboro. GTN is available on Spectrum Channel 13, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and North State Channel 31. GTN also streams live on Roku and the city's website at greensboro-nc.gov.